Hey, welcome to video number 181 of Walker This Way with Hazel Walker, the queen of all things
BNI and networking.
I am Mark Simmons. Hazel, one more day and you're on a plane flying here again.
I know, I'll be there around 12:30 tomorrow.
Cool.
I'm excited.
It'll be great to have you back in town. Well, we got the whole team back in town. Mark Graver's back in town again. You're here. Means I have to be in my best behavior.
As of when did that start?
I don't know. I'm just making that up. Why start now? Let's be real. So Hazel, Ivan has this quote that he uses a lot, and it's why settle for mediocrity or mediocrity or however you want to say it when excellence is an option. Like we've heard that before.
We have, and I have the answer.
Well, before you give the answer, I have a better quote, which is more around how we're sign of the times right now, and it's like, good is good enough. Good is good enough.
Right. Yeah. That's called, we've become complacent.
Yeah.
Right? We've become complacent. And I say to people, when you are complacent, you deserve what you get. You actually deserve what you get because you have the opportunity to do better. You're choosing to do nothing, right? And complacency leads to mediocrity.
Right.
And mediocrity leads to the death of an organization.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I'm actually seeing that. And the reason people choose mediocrity over excellence is because they don't want to do the work. Because to be excellent requires more of us.
Yeah.
To be mediocre. I have had people say to me, I just want an 8-to-5 job. I don't want to have to think. I don't want to do anything more than just what my job description is. I want to clock in at 8, clock out at 5, and then watch TV the rest of the day. Mm-hmm. Right? That's complacency and mediocrity. Right? You can't achieve great things when you fall into that pattern. And I have noticed that a lot in our BNI chapters. Yeah. I've noticed that a lot with our event that we're putting together in Vancouver, that people are just complacent. Like everybody early on was screaming and yelling at us about not being allowed to meet in person, and we have to meet in person, right? Remember? And people were accusing me of holding them back and that I owed them money. And I think it was really, they were very, very vocal when I had no control.
And where are they now? When the opportunity is there to meet in person, and it's crickets.
No one wants to really do the work, and they've gotten into the habit because they were online. So many chapters, not all chapters, so many chapters got online and said, well, we can't invite visitors because this isn't BNI. And so they stopped inviting also. And that mediocrity, that just being complacent in the way we're online and has led to this downward scope. And I have a chapter that's just reached out this week. They need to do a restart because they're concerned they're going backwards fast. And it's because once you stop the flywheel from spinning, it's really hard to get it going again. So if you are falling into that space of excellence, you were there, and then you drop down into complacency and just, we've always been good. So we're used to just always being this. And now we've dropped down from excellence into mediocrity, right? It's really hard. That flywheel's not rolling, and it's really hard. It's going to take a lot of work to move you back to that excellence space.
Yeah.
Which means you've got to get everybody on board and get them out. Somehow you have to wake them up. They have to come out of that stupor of complacency. And it's hard work right now.
Yeah. And I would think that if you're the type of person who 8-to-5 is good for you, that is good. And that's fine. And when we look at the BNI world, that's not what BNI is about. BNI is not about the mediocrity of things. It's not about complacency. It's members join BNI for excellence.
Well, I know people who work 8 to 5 who love their jobs. They
Yeah,
would
that's
never
okay.
consider being complacent in their 8 to 5
No.
job. It's the ones who go, I just don't want to do anything more than I have to do.
Right.
That's complacency,
Yeah.
right? And
And
that's what we're feeling at the moment. And I know you're feeling that. I feel it with the members. I'm feeling it with the chapters. At least in Indiana, they've been back long enough that they're starting to step back up again. They're starting to get their branding back right, and they're starting to feel proud of their chapters again. But it's been a really slow process getting this going.
and the tough part about complacency is when it becomes part of a chapter's culture, an ingrained part of a chapter's culture. It's what they do. It's just how it is. It is super hard to change culture at the best of times.
Right. That goes back to that flywheel. It's really, really difficult to get that going again in your chapters because people have fallen down into it.
So what can chapter members do individually and collectively to check the kind of the complacency check of their own chapter?
I think they need to just take a step back and say, how am I playing a role in the excellence of my group? Am I playing at my highest level in this chapter? Or have I fallen into, I got used to just rolling out of bed and coming to the meeting and not getting dressed and just falling into it. Is that where I'm at? Or am I bringing my game to the table in an effort to move my chapter back to the excellence that it has always had?
Yeah.
And that has to be a personal conversation. Is my traffic light scores? Am I participating? Am I doing the power of one? Am I having real one-to-ones? Am I really thinking about helping my fellow members? Because my concern is we are going into a recession. We are going into a full-fledged recession, and businesses are already starting to feel that. You feel that at the grocery store and at the gas pump. That's the first place we feel it, right? Interest rates are going up. Things are going to get harder. And if you're in that place of complacency, it's going to be difficult for you and your business.
Right.
And it's really time to wake up and say, we got to come out of this cocoon. We've got to shake it all off. And we got to step back up into that place of excellence.
Yeah.
And we got to start working a little bit harder, because you are going to need this working for you in profound ways as we move forward.
Yeah, this is the time, once again, when you're going to need your chapter.
You're going to need
your chapter is going to need to be strong and focused and driven.
Yep. As members, you're going to have to be really focused and really holding each other accountable and coming together as a team.
Yeah.
Right. Like this, instead of all these individuals playing these different roles, they've got to come together like this and say, we are going to operate as a team and raise ourselves back to the excellence that we have known in the past.
Yeah. And it's really nothing monumental that needs to happen. It's one or two small tweaks or shifts that can change everything for you individually and as a chapter. So check your chapter, have a look at what your contribution and responsibility you're going to take for your own excellence in your own chapter.
It starts with you first.
Starts with you first. It also, and the next part is the leadership team and what's the messaging that the leadership teams are giving out. It's there's a mindset thing here as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the shifting the mindset can shift everything. Potentially, the perspective on your chapter. But so there's things you can do.
There are things you can do. There are things. And what prompted this was I had a president from Vancouver actually call me about his chapter and something he wanted to do, because he said, I just feel like nobody's like engaged. Yeah. And that's true.
And a great thing is, for no matter where you are in the world, for leadership teams, for members, you have support teams around you, your regional support team. So reach out if you want to have discussions about what it is your chapter can do. And there's no expectation that you're going to do these 900 things all at once.
And don't try.
Don't try, because that won't work. It's prioritize, pick one or two, work on those, nail them, move to the next. But we're all here to help you.
Yeah, we're here to support that.
All righty, from good to amazing.
There you go.
Yeah, from good to amazing. All right, till next time, Hazel.
Talk to you then.
Bye.
Bye.